we are starting the sit sessions. I'm going to share my screen because I'm looking for some things. I read your documents. One thing I noticed is that all of us are struggling with referencing, which is okay because it's the first time all of you guys are writing things. So I used to have a tutorial on how to use Zotero for referencing. I'm actually looking for that, but I'm going to send the link with you guys to watch. And if after you've watched it, it's not still clear enough, we are going to have a session where I just show you guys how I use Zotero. I'm just going to start the session with that. I have a slide for the session, but I prefer this session not to have a slide because it's more practical. So we are going to walk through this sheet throughout this session to really drill you down on um, screening and extraction. So I sent you guys 10 papers. The thing I'm going to say already for the 10 papers is that you have some papers that you are going to be able to include for the study that we are using, and some papers that you cannot include. I'm not going to give you guys a number, otherwise it's going to make it difficult, but we are going to have 30 minutes of demo, and then the remaining 20 minutes, I'm going to give you guys time to work in pairs of twos. I hope it's okay, or threes. And then screen the 10 papers and tell me if you're going to include or exclude it. And then I'm going to show you guys how to rapidly read and look for things on papers when you're doing a systematic review, especially for title and abstract screening. So that's what I'm going to do now. This is your curriculum. We started here last year, 20th December. These are questions that I gave. Some of you selected from there. All of you have most of you have created your own questions, which is very fine by me. This is a Prisma checklist, which is what I would advise all of you now that we are moving into writing the proposal, because I've looked at your topic summaries. The next step is to write a proposal. But before you write your proposal, we need your search strategy to be confirmed, because that will be part of your proposal. So Prisma checklist is a writing guideline. It's a reporting guideline. Sorry, I've put all the screens in one place so that I can show you guys. Prisma is not here. Yes, this is Prisma. Yep. Unfortunately, I've taken it off. But let me go back to this place. Can you guys see my screen? So this is just for you guys to know. If I click here, it still takes me back to the web page, but I think I'd uploaded yeah, Prisma is what I want you guys to always look at when you're writing, to be sure that, okay, if I'm writing the background, the introduction, what are the things I need to talk about in my research? So it's very important. So in the third lecture, I gave you guys a guide to formulate your research question, which I think most of you guys have done. I also gave you guys a sample proposal for you guys to look at. This is a proposal. This is my proposal. So the good thing is that most of the documents I'm sharing with you guys are things that I have done myself. And then this is a sample proposal that has been published on Prospero. The reason for this one is just that you see the Prospero lines, or the Prospero tools that you need to use. So that's just why I'm putting this here. So this is very important. This is, if you want to look at a full proposal, this is what you should look at. If you want to see a proposal that has been published, this is what you should look at. And then this is what I was referring to. This is the Prisma checklist, its content. I'm going to try to show you guys what that looks like. So if I come to this Prospero Prisma checklist, yes, so this is it. This is what I was talking about. So you see that it's very clear that your title should have all the elements, and you should identify the type of review. So this is how you're going to write your title. Just try to complete all of these boxes. You come to abstract, same thing. You should summarize, but generally I would say abstract is the last thing that is written. I don't expect you to write your abstract now. You can write your abstract at the end because abstract is a summary of what you've written already. But an abstract is already what you guys wrote, your topic summary. So you can have that kept at the level of abstract, but you're going to update it as you build your proposal. So if we come to introduction, all what you guys wrote in your topic summary is a summary of a summary. So you have to expand on everything. You see, I don't know. I want somebody who is working on their laptop to read the bullets that show what the rationale of the introduction should be. Who wants to read?
Rational items. Describe the rationale for the review in the context of existing knowledge. Elements. Describe the current state of knowledge and its uncertainties. Articulate why it is important to do the review. If other systematic reviews addressing the same or a largely similar question are available, explain why the current review was considered necessary. If the review is an update or replication of a particular systematic review, indicate this and cite the previous review. If the review examines the effect of interventions, also briefly describe how the interventions examined might work. If there is complexity in the intervention or context of its delivery, or both, e.g., multi-component interventions, equity, consider presenting a logic model to visually display the hypothesized relationship between intervention components and outcomes.
Thank you very much, Joseph. So this is this is actually a summarized version of the Prisma. If you want an expanded, I mean, I think this is clear, right? When they say describe the current state of knowledge and its uncertain, that's why I told you you need to read at least 5 papers on your topic to write a topic summary. If you're going to write a proposal, you need to read at least 10 because you need to actually tell us what is known and what is not known, and then tell us why it is important to do the review. Those are the three most important. And then if you see another systematic review that is similar, why do we need to do a different systematic review? So if you say systematic that have been done in Europe, okay, you can say that, oh, we need to do something for Africa. But if you say another review in Africa, you don't need to say any other thing. Why do you need to do a systematic? That's why I told you guys early on. If there's really a systematic review, then you need to change your topic. Again, like you said, if there is the intervention, you have assessing somebody, we have people assessing end states, we have people assessing AI. You need to really describe what the AI is going to do in that thing and what is the outcome that we need to do. If it is very complex, put it visually. That's what they are saying there. So this is very clear. If you need a full extended version of the Prisma, you can, I mean, in the link I showed you guys, you can come here and download this one, elaboration and extension. My internet, yeah, and this one it's a longer paper and it gives you all the details for what is expected in each section. You see, this is exactly what we've just seen in a PDF, but it gives you exactly how to write it. So this is a writing guide. If you are in doubt, this is what you should. But for me, the summarized version, it's okay. You can write with this one, with what I have just shown you. You can write with this one. So I'm pushing you guys back to go to this table. I'm actually using this because I know that most of you don't look at it. So it's important that we look and see what you have already. So this is it. That's where you need to look at. And if you use that as your writing guide, you will not have a problem writing the introduction of your proposal and stating your objectives, which is clear. I mean, yeah, they said it clearly. The objective part is quite there. provide explicitly what your research objectives and questions are. And you need to state all of that. I'm not going to ask anybody to read this, but I just wanted to point you guys to this. Now, that said, we have made progress. We have gone past January. Again, you have how to do your search and how to do that. And I showed you guys how to do that. You have the search log of what I did. And then the last session, which we have a screening practice, and I gave you guys a screening template, and we are here now. So what we are going to simply do today is I'm going to show you guys how to fully screen. So title and abstract and full text screening. That's what I'm going to show you guys. And what I shared with you guys, which is what I expected you guys to have, is an extraction sheet, which has the various tabs that you would use. That's what you guys are going to use to practice. And then the document I'm sharing you guys, I already shared with you part of it. I'm going to update it with the changes I've made for what I've done. And then this is where you find the papers that we are going to use. So that's it. All of this, like I said, it's always documented in Prospero. And then I shared with you guys my publication that has an example of an extraction table and what it contains. I encourage you guys to read the paper. And then this is just for extent for any other thing if you want to read more. But again, if you can look at just what we did, like I said, if you have to complete this course is very simple. Just do all the things that are written in the most important things are written and you're fine to go. Yes, Patrick, your hand is raised.
All right, though. Thank you. Concerning what you just said about the work you did, I went on the link. It directed me to PubMed, but I did not see the instruction table. I don't know if I'm the one who don't know where to find the instruction table, but I could not find it to download it. So I
Mm,
don't know where I can download this table.
Let me just do that. It's because you did not read the paper now. Let me show you how to go about it. For those who are asking me, is it when we are almost in class, 21 minutes ago? You guys think that I am a body double. I can be in class and be on my email at the same time. So um uh so when you open this paper, right, you have to download it now. Mm. And mm, that is the Prisma. So this is the extraction table. This is table one characteristics. Did you see this? So you see what he has. He has the author and year, he has the study population, he has the intervention, and then he has the study design, and he has the key outcomes, and then principal findings. So that's it. And then you see, I came from PubMed now, and then I said full text because if you look at just PubMed here, it doesn't give you everything. It just summarizes it, the figures and the rest. So you look at full text. So that's what I clicked, and then you have the full paper now. And as well, you can download the PDF and have it on your laptop and go through it. So this is the Prisma for this one, and then that is table one. Now, you see the number of papers that were included in this study. And then we have now synthesis, which is what I'm going to teach you guys in 2 weeks, session 8, I guess, which talks about what were the types of findings that we got. So you see, again, same similar table, and then these are the figures that you see. So, Patrick, did I do something that you didn't do the last time? And there you have now all of the supplementary files that you can get, which has more of the analysis. This one is risks of bias. This one, I think it's another detailed elaboration of the table. If I click on it, preparing to download, it has downloaded. So just download the PDFs and then download the supplementary materials. It's all open source, and then you can use it. And
All
yeah,
right.
is this clear now?
Yeah, it's clear. I've seen where
All right. So you see, again, guys, this is what we are going to try to build today. Well, I'm not going to talk about principal findings, but I mean, you can just talk about the population. You see that it's all PICO, right? But you see, this is setting and design, and then key outcomes. So you see, this is like PIO, but again, it's a modification. So that's just what I'm trying to show you guys. And then okay, this is the table that has downloaded. So you see again, this is like everything in details. So you can Intertech, who is Intertech? Let's wait for the person to come. But you see, this is a detailed summary of everything. All right. So guys, I hope this is clear. That's it. Now, let's come back to your program. So let's get to today's lecture. Um, so I have a PowerPoint. So I'm going to click on the PowerPoint so that it doesn't seem as if I don't have a PowerPoint. So you guys just see this PowerPoint is just so that you guys know that I have a PowerPoint. Um, why? Okay, yeah, I know why this is doing it. Stop share. So on our PowerPoint today, um, for today's lecture, what you guys need to know that we are going to do is just one person took the quiz, so I'm not going to bother about that. So I know that I'm giving you guys a lot of work, but the quiz is just to assess your strength. But for today, what is most important that is that we are here. We are talking about really extracting data. Last week we looked at screening data. And then the most important thing is that what we are going to learn today helps you to build that table one that I just showed you guys in my paper, right? And then it improves on reproducibility and transparency. And then it helps us to reduce errors. So that's it. And the learning outcome is that all of you guys should be able to have a tailored data extraction form. So I've given you the form to deal with. But at the end of when you have looked at those papers, you see that some fields, I made it so much that you find the value of everything, but you see that some fields you might not need to use. And that's what you're making now. You adjust it to your use. And then that's what we refer to as piloting it. And then you have again, what are the study characteristics and what are the outcome for the study you're analyzing? And then you guys are going to double check for each other. And yeah, so that's it. That's what we are going to do today. I mean, every other thing in this slide is just a story, which I don't want to be saying, but I want to show you guys how these things are done, like how to search things with Pico and your protocol. So I'm going to stop the PowerPoint at this point. And then let's go now to our demo of the day. Is it clear what we are doing today? Is it clear what we are doing today?
Yes, doctor.
Honorables. All right, so this is where we were. I always put the timetable here because it's a good reminder for all of you to know how far we've come. So this is where we are today, data extraction and management. And then we have 1, 2, 3 more sessions. These are the most important. And then we'll teach you guys how to write. So if by this time I've not seen your writing skills have not improved, then we'll have a writing workshop where I'll really work you guys on how to write, background methods, results, and discussion. So this is why this session is important. So this is the writing session. Even at the level of PhDs, we still take courses to teach us how to write, but this is a super, I'll call it high yield session. And so you see that we have just 1, 2, 3, 4 sessions left. So you guys are almost there. So you need to just put in the work and get your research done. So just a reminder, last session we did the screening. We moved through to Ryan and then brought you back and came to this. So today it's really what we did was that when we downloaded from PubMed, we had our files exported to Zotero, and then in Zotero we deduplicated it, and then we uploaded it to Ryan, and then we started searching. So what's most important for us to do today is that we are going to take these deduplicated files that we took from Zotero, and then we are going to go back to Ryan, and then we are going to search. We're going to screen. So that's what I'm going to do to you guys. But since all of you don't have Ryan, because you only have access to Ryan once you've completed your search strategy, we are happy with it, and then I'll upload your title or give you access to Ryan. We are going to do it in the classical way, which is you're going to have those 10 papers that I have given you guys, which this is them on my Zotero. These are the papers. And all you need to do is click on the paper. Sorry, I have problems in my eyes, so I always put things to darkness mode. And now I don't know how to change it on Zotero. Guys, I'm sorry. But if it's really bad to see, I will not use Zotero. I'll just go back to PDF reader. But this is what happens. So you have the paper, and then you have to skim skim through it. But first is title and abstract reading. So you read only the title and the abstract, which this is the abstract of this paper. And you do that for all the 10 papers. And then in the end, you're going to say, oh, I'm going to include 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or I'm going to exclude 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then once you guys have done that in your groups, you're going to also now then read through the full paper and say, okay, after the full screening, I think I can include this. So what I'm going to do, I don't expect you guys to do the full paper reading here today, but I'm just going to show you guys. And once you say what papers to be included, we're going to move, and I'm going to show you guys how to read papers fast, which is what's most important in full text reading. And then from there, we are going to end the session today. So that's the plan. So you guys all have these 10 papers. Put it in your PDF reader or whatever tool you're using to read, and then you can read from it. And that will proceed. So these 10 papers is what I'm going to upload to my Ryan now. And just as a reminder, this is our topic, right? In adult Africans with risks of CVDs, how does AI-based cardiovascular risk prediction models compared to standard risk scores affect accuracy of predicting cardiovascular outcomes? So the goal of this research is to say that if we have AI modeling instead of the standard Framingham score that you use to calculate blah 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 in your medical app that you have, does it improve the outcome of people who are at risk of diabetes, of cardiovascular risk? And so we did this. This is our PICO. And my question for you is that given this topic, what do you think should be our inclusion criteria? Each of you guys give me one inclusion criteria. We have African adults who are with risk factors, and then we have AI, and then we have the standard score, and then we have the accuracy. What should be our inclusion criteria?
Doctor, I think one of the inclusion criteria can be CVD risk factors, being modifying or non-modifying risk factors.
So give me an example of CVD risk factors. What will you be looking for as a CVD risk factor in a paper?
I'm looking at about any about hypertension, talking about diabetes, talking about
Good,
hypercholesterolemia,
good, good, good.
anything.
Yeah, I agree with you. Hypertension, obesity, blah, blah, blah. So we are clear with all of these risk factors. What other things should be in our inclusion criteria, guys? What next?
We have research that talk about ML risk prediction.
ML risk prediction. Okay. What else? I mean, we know that ML is machine learning, no? What
Yes,
else?
doctor.
Mm-hmm. What else? Frank, what else? What other inclusion criteria do you want to give? Know that this is what you guys are going to use in the practical. So in what you're going to do now. So you better need to know what you have to look at to include a paper or to exclude a paper.
Doctor, I think to include the papers, since you said African adults, I think African adults is also something I have to include in the paper.
All right, African adults. What is your definition of an adult in Africa? How many
And
years old?
Africa is an individual which is greater than 21 years.
Are you sure that's what WHO says?
That's what I said. That's a little bottle of drink I'm going.
Anyways, I think it's 18, but yeah. These are very important things. So what this is important is that if you say you consider an adult to be greater than 21 years, so that's what's going to be in your protocol. And you're going to stick to it till the end. You get? Mhm. Patrick, who else wants to go for it? What other inclusion criteria can you guys give? Forget about O. Think of between PIC. Agbo, are you there?
Doctor,
Yes, go for it, Lydia.
Doctor, I think you can also include the Framingham score and the ratio
Good.
chart. Yeah.
Good. Yes, 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 yes. So you need the standard risk assessments, right? So e.g. Birmingham. And Woolchards. Thank you. So we're going to stop there, but there's a longer list. So this is what I did, right? The first thing, like in somebody's summary, I was like, you need to define what you actually mean by whatever you're doing. So the first thing is that I come here and I state my operational definitions, the definitions for this research, which is based on what other people have done. Agbo, can you read what I define as AI and ML prediction?
Operational definition: AI and machine learning risk prediction model. Any model that uses machine learning or AI methods, e.g. random forest, gradient boosting, XGBoost, SMV, SVM, neural networks, deep learning, ensemble learning to predict future cardiovascular events or cardiovascular disease risk from individual level inputs, in bracket clinical, demographic, lab imaging, EHR, and wearable data.
Thank you very much. I don't know who is Intertech, but Intertech, can you read what standard risk score is?
No.
Yeah.
Standard
Hello?
clinical risk scores. Birmingham.
WHO/ISH risk chart score pooled cohort equations ASCVD QRISK Reynolds etc.
Good. I mean, I think all of you guys are clinical students now, so you know what the QRIC score is, right? And the ASCVD score, right? Nice. Anyways, so that's what we did, right? So with the template I have given you guys, what you need to do, let me click on Excel, is that you would, all what I need you guys to do is just put just the, you can put the paper, you can just put it one. You don't need to put the PubMed ID, that's going to take you unnecessary time, but on your computer, you can put just the first author and then the year of the paper, this historical, and then the title. Skip journal, but you can now add which country was conducted, study design, data source. And so this is your extraction template. And then again, sorry, I think I need to show you guys, but the screening template, which I sent to you guys last week instead. Yes. The screening template is where you're going to do the title and abstract screening. Do you guys remember that it's on the program? How many people downloaded it already? Yeah. So this is a screening template. So this is a combined template. So this is a screening template. This is what you guys need to work with. I think I showed you guys this last week. So you just need to put the ID one, and then the first author's name, and then the title. And then you can copy and paste the abstract here. It's going to make it big, but you want to decide if you're going to include it or not. So just simply say yes or no when you have read the abstract. So just say yes or no. And then in the end, what I need to see is that you have 10 papers here that you've read, and all we need to see is that you've included with a Y, yes, or you've excluded with a no. So that's what I need to see at the end of the exercise that we will do. I mean, the screener here is if we are many of us on the same sheet, that's what we'll do. But you guys said, and then please note why you excluded or included in your discussions. And then in the end, we are going to move now to full text, which is which papers you think are going to go to full text. And we are going to then rapidly go through it. So what I want to show you guys now is how I would screen those papers on Ryan. And once you guys have Ryan, how you guys are going to do that. My Ryan is on another screen, so I'm going to bring it to your view. So I imported these 10 papers to Ryan. No, this is another review. So I'm going to come back to home. This one, yep. So I imported the 10 papers to Ryan. So what I have done is that I have included my, if you see, these are keywords that have all of those RIC scores on Ryan. So it's easy for it to flag. You see, that's why it's showing green things and the rest. So what I'm just going to review is actually just the 10 papers. And how I do that is that these are the 10 papers here. There are many of them, but I can just filter the 10 papers based on how I use Ryan. So papers to practice, those are the 10 of them. Now I have all papers. So these are them. I already screened them early on. But this is going to make you guys to see my screening. But how you do to read, you have a short abstract and then you have a title. So the first thing you look at is, does this title include the keywords that I am looking for in my inclusion criteria? So we said one thing. we are looking for risk factors. So we see he has cardiovascular disease, he has diabetic patients. Already, these are people at risk of cardiovascular disease. And then he has Ethiopia, which tells us that that is the population. And he has machine learning. So this is already, for me, I don't need to go further. I'll include this paper just from the title. I don't even need to read the abstract again. Do you guys understand what I mean?
Yes, Doc.
Yes, doctor.
Now, good. So you see, so what we are saying is that you don't need to, if from the title you can decide to include it, don't proceed reading the abstract. Are we clear? Now, I'm going to pick another paper randomly, and then we look at this. It talks about a risk, same risk population. These guys are seeing all my answers, but it's okay. It talks about same risk population, right? But it talks about machine learning. And then see what it's looking at. UK Biobank. I mean, I am not trying to study UK participants here. We're talking about sub-Saharan Africa. So already here, it's an exclusion. So that's why I explained, and you see my tag there is wrong population. And that's what you're going to write in your notes why you excluded it. Then I have another one now. This one is same thing. I read the title. Conventional statistical models and machine learning. So yeah, that's good. In a small cohort of South African cardiac patients. Okay, South African, I can include it. It talks about machine learning. But I don't know if it's talking about prediction of cardiovascular disease, or it's talking about people who already have cardiovascular disease. So I go into the abstract, and because I have included these keywords in my search engine already, it highlights the keywords that it has mentioned. So definitely it's relevant for the intervention. It is on machine learning and various other methods. But I cannot see where it states that it is predicting risks. I am not quite sure. So this is a paper that I put a maybe on it, which I think I need to read the full abstract, the full paper. So that's it. Now, when I do this, in the end, I have a list of papers that I have included and the ones that are maybe. So I'll take the maybe and include it to my full text screening. And how do we do full text screening? All right. So I come to full text screening. Generally, I have to import it. And these are the papers that I have imported. And so you have now, this is where I need to read through the PDF, right? So I'm going to showing 6 of 9, show all. I want you to show me everything, not just on this side, all papers. So these are the papers that I am looking at, and I want to look at the papers that have a PDF attached. How do I filter that? Good. So these are the papers that have a PDF attached because I uploaded them manually. So now I'm going to view only this, read the full text. And you see that here I can include, maybe, or exclude. Yeah. So again, now I want to read a full text. I have, let's say, 100 full text papers to read. The first thing is what we call skimming. You have already read the title. We are no more looking at the title, right? It is full text. You come to the abstract. You want to assess your population. Where do you read the population? It's definitely in the methods. The method is the most important space that you need to read. It's going to tell you where the patients came from, an Ethiopian Public Health Institute. That is an Ethiopian study. Predicting cardiovascular disease, also so demographic, what it was looking at. And then what did they use? So one thing I will tell you is that when you're doing a systematic review, the only place that you don't need to skip is reading the methods. You have to read the methods entirely because it's going to tell you the population, the intervention, and what outcome was measured. Background is nice to read, but you don't need to read background always. Background is just to tell you, oh, this study was carried out because this has happened, why of your study. If you're reading background is when you're writing because you want to see how other people have written their background. But the most important thing to read is objective, methods, and results. That's it. but you start with the methods to see who did they include, what did they do, and what were the outcomes with the assessing, and what did they find, because this is what you're going to use to discuss. You have to copy summarize the results in your extraction sheet. And already, because I know that this was a South African, is an Ethiopian study, it used various machine learning techniques to basically predict cardiovascular risks, and it incorporated pseudodemographic factor and the rest. But we don't know if there was a comparator, which is fine. It is something doing to predict the risk score. And then they reported accuracy, they used the logistic regression and all of that. So for me, I'm going to include this study. And then once you do that, it moves to the next paper. Again, we do the same thing. Now you see that I ended only at the abstract. Now, if I read this abstract is quite scanty. It is an unstructured abstract, which is the worst type of abstracts I hate reading, because you need to find where the methods are. So if you skim through, skimming means I read the first line, cardiovascular disease, da, da, da. In English, they tell you that you have a topic sentence. It should tell you what the entire paragraph is about. That's how skimming works. So you read this, and it tells you this is cardiovascular disease mobility and mortality is growing in sub-Saharan Africa and in Ethiopia. Early detection is needed. So low screening uptake, da 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 da. So that's it. Now I know what is happening in the system. The study presents an interpretable ensemble machine framework for CVD risk prediction. So it's relevant on medical record data. So it's very relevant. And so for public health hospitals in Addis Ababa. Now, I look at what they did. So this is already relevant. I like it, but I need to go back to the methods. Now, the abstract cannot give me much, so I'm going straight to the methods to read, to see what is relevant for me in the methods. So this is method, model development, explainability layer. So this is all how they calculated the metrics. And then they've done this already. So I come here, which is pre-processing. No, not this one, but you come the data set and everything. So this is what tells you what they did. Again, are we looking at age, residence, sex, pulse rate? So these are the risk factors that they considered. As a medic, who all of you are, you know that these are relevant for cardiovascular risk prediction. So it's definitely something that you want to include in the study. Again, note, I am not reading word for word verbatim. I am looking at context. And then this is the most important area, study design and data source, because this is going to tell you the population, which is your strongest risk. We looked at a retrospective data search on anonymized electronic record data in Addis Ababa. That's it. The population is what we need. And then what were we looking for? We're looking for, in this study, cardiovascular disease was defined as ICD-10. You see that in every study, there's a defining criteria, and then you read more. So that's it. So again, here, I am going to include this paper. So I'm going to stop here, because if I continue, you guys will know the right answers for everything, although some smart people would have noticed. But that's how you do the full text screening. And once we are done with that, then we come to data extraction on Ryan. And I already started it, which is you create this. But this is what we are going to do when we have all ascertained on your topics, right? But now you guys need to practice on those 10 papers and really write your decisions, why you're including, why you're excluding, and why it's a maybe paper or not. So that's it for now. And I'm going to want to divide you guys into groups. So what you need to do first is take the screening log, screen the papers first, go through the titles and the abstract and decide if you're including it or not. And then all what we are doing in this session is that I need to see the papers that you will include in those 10. So you are reading only the title and the abstract, nothing more. You will not do full text screening. You're going to do full text screening in your own time. And then next week when we meet, you guys are going to tell me which of the papers were both going to be included in after full text screening for us to do our data extraction. So after class, I'm going to share this combined screening Excel sheet that I designed, which has both screening and then extraction. It has the formulas. These spaces are just formulas. So I need to make sure that the formulas are all working so that You can easily type yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. But for now, it's not working. But I need to set that again. But yeah, it's work in progress. But you have the sheet separate. You have the screening sheet separate from the extraction sheet. You should have it already. If you haven't, you can request access now and I'll send it to you. Or I might just send it to you guys on WhatsApp. Let me see. If that is convenient, should I send it on WhatsApp? And then I need to see how many of you guys are on this call.
I think it's better that you can send it through WhatsApp so that you can download it rapidly.
Mm, yeah, Prince Patrick says that it's okay for us to send it on WhatsApp. So let me look at it and send His Excellencies. Any questions on what I have just shown you guys? Any questions?
Doc, I have a question. So at the end of the exercise, how are you going to check our work? I don't know. Are we to snap to make a screenshot or I don't know?
No, you guys are going to have 2 minutes to share. One person is going to share the screen, and I'm going to see what you guys have done.
All right.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. So I'm going to give you guys 20 minutes. I have dropped the sheet on WhatsApp, and it actually has me putting a fake study inside, so you can see what it looks like. All right. So I'm going to divide you guys into how many people are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 of you are here. So I'm going to divide you guys into 2 groups. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 is to 2. Who is missing? I see Afaye, I see Edong, I see Frank, I see Brian. Oh, Lydia is missing. She's probably left out for network. So I'm going to split you guys into 2 breakout rooms randomly. And then when Lydia comes, I'm just going to assign her to one of the rooms. And then you guys can start working. If there's any issue, I'm going to jump in any of the rooms after half the time. And you can already you should see an invite on your screen now that you should join the room. I have created that. Mhm. Hello guys, your rooms are ready. Patrick, you have not joined your group. You can join your group. You guys should have started working. Which room were you in, Patrick? All right, guys, how was it? Hello, 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 hello.
Doc was good, but time. Well, it's true that we started late, Doc, but it was good.
All right, fine. So I need one person from each of the two groups to present. If you want to present, you can indicate and I'll give you access to share your screen. You have like 2 minutes to just tell us why you included 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 papers. So who wants to present? Who are those who want to present? You can show the raise hand thing and then I'll make you co-host so you can share your screen.
Joseph, please, can you just rapidly tell us why we decided and the reason why?
No, we did not really jot down those things. So to remember all of it now.
Uh,
The issue is that
yeah,
able that to show to share the screen, that is, who needs to be connected with the laptop and at the same time having the screening template in the laptop, which is not the case. So it's not
or
really easy.
your laptops are not connected. Okay, I guess. Good. So
They are connected.
read the papers that you included and give me a reason why you include. In fact, just there are 10 papers. So say this title was included, this title was not included. Yeah.
All right. So there is, because the challenge we also had is that the documents, that is the names of the documents were not really that the best. So it was not really easy for us to find ourselves, since the way it appears to our various screen is just very different. So there is this file, this document, predicting cardiovascular disease among diabetic patients in Ethiopia using machine learning models.
Yeah.
So
So,
we decided to include it because of I think he's talking about Ethiopia, which is an African country. Um, Also, it has the intervention which we can see machine learning models here and predicting cardiovascular disease among diabetic patients. So we decided to include it. This one here.
mhm.
We decided to include it because of this reason.
Next,
The
next,
next one was, sorry, Doc.
next paper. Yeah, yeah, next paper.
Okay, the next paper was talking about spatial modeling and machine learning based assessment of regional stroke risk and predators in Ghana, a cross-sectional study.
Hmm.
Yes, so here, talking about the population bomb. Yeah, it's talking about Ghana. So the search was made in Ghana, so which is an African country. Yes. Also about CVG risk factors, stroke risk factors actually joined with the CVG factors to a certain extent. So now talking about also machine learning based assessment. So for Ross broadly, we also decided to include this one. So I don't know. So both.
Nice. I'm going to pause here. I'm going to pause here and I'm
So
going to ask um uh
yes.
Bryant and I think it's a Faino. What did you guys say about the last two papers? Did you guys include or exclude it?
I wasn't.
Um, please, Patrick, can you read that the okay predicting cultivars? No, this we included the one on Ghana. Can you
Mm.
just read the first
Yeah.
words? Let me see our diagram,
The
see our
first
table.
one, the first one is spatial model. The second one is spatial modeling and machine learning based. That's it on your
Okay.
screen.
So we included that. We included the spatial modeling and machine learning based assessments of regional stroke risks because it was Ghana, which is in Africa. Yeah.
All right. So Brian, give me the next paper that you guys worked on. I included.
Uh, okay. Can I share my screen?
You want to share your screen? That's very nice. Yeah, let me give you the right to do that. Yes, you can share your screen now. Let me stop sharing, so otherwise you'll not be able to share. Go for it.
Okay, so this is my screen. This is what we had as the different papers.
Mm-hmm.
This was already there. The first one we looked at was application of machine learning for cardiovascular disease risk prediction, which we decided to include since he was having our intervention. That was machine learning for cardiovascular risk prediction.
Mm-hmm. Good, nice. Next.
Okay, the next we had interpretable sound machine learning framework for cardiovascular risk prediction using EMR data and large language models in Ethiopia, which we equally decided to include since he was having our intervention and Ethiopia, which is an African country, so enters more population.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Next, we had predicting the risks of hypertension using machine learning algorithms, a cross-sectional study in Ethiopia. We equally
Mm.
decided to include since it was Ethiopia and machine learning.
All right. Yes.
Um, Next, I think I copied this twice. Next, predicting stroke with machine learning techniques in sub-Saharan African population. We included because the population matched and stroke is a cardiovascular event.
But is stroke a cardiovascular risk factor? I mean, you're correct, but it's okay. Nice. Next. What was the title again? Cardiovascular risk predicting stroke in sub-Saharan Africa with machine learning techniques.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's okay. Nice.
Okay, next we had cardiovascular risk disease prediction using automated machine learning, a prospective study of 423,604 UK biobank participants, which we excluded because it was having the wrong population, which was the UK biobank participants.
All right. Nice. Next.
Next, spatial modeling. We've spoken on that already. We included since it was in Ghana. Next, post-surgery survival and associated factors for cardiac patients in Ethiopia, applications of machine learning and semi-parametric and parametric modeling.
Mm.
We excluded that because it was not post-surgical. I thought it was not focusing on post-surgical
Makes
operations.
sense. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. Next.
Next, predicting cardiovascular disease amongst diabetic patients in Ethiopia using machine learning models, evidence. These last two, we normally look at these classes together where we're still working on it for the
Nice.
breakout room meeting.
Very well done. Patrick, is there anything that you disagree with what they've included? Just keep your screen shared. Is there anything you guys disagree with what they included or excluded?
No, no, look, I think what they decided to include, we also included it, and what
All
they
right.
excluded, we also included it. So grossly, that's what we could do.
Very, very well done, guys. I'm very happy that you guys could do this. Nice, nice. So you guys see why having the screening template was good as a guide, and that's so. What I what we are going to do after this, all
Let me
of
take
you
this
guys.
home.
Yes,
Let
go
me
for
take
it.
this home.
Oh, Patrick is talking to his girlfriend. So what you guys are going to do after this is all of you are going to do on a similar sheet, just like what Brian has done. All of you have this document, right? So you have two documents now, one for screening and one for extraction. And you see that in the screening document, you have the functions that you can make and you can include, exclude, and just click. If you want to learn Excel, I can teach you how to do that some other time, but use the form the way it is and put those 10 papers in it. Copy the abstracts inside, and then forget about the database, but just forget about every other. The duplicates we have is already sorted. Put in your decisions, and then when you're done, you're going to do the full text reading on the ones that you have included and set a maybe. So generally, I'm going to send you guys my own results for the 10 papers, and I have 4 papers included, 3 papers maybe, and 3 papers excluded. So I expect you guys to have a similar thing, but I'm only going to send that to you guys once all of you guys have done the extraction. So I'm not going to give you guys the answer yet. So once you have done the full text reading and you're done, please send it to me. This all what I need, this template, this screening sheet. Send just this Excel sheet with me in an email. Guys, please, when you're sending emails, put a message. Dear Dr. Sintieh, please find attached this document. Da, 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 da. Don't just send me a message and send the document. No heading, no title, nobody. As if I am a girlfriend that has annoyed you and you are just sharing your emotions with me. So write a small message. I mean, you see the way I send you guys message, it's very well structured. So just learn by observation. So that's what I will need from all of you by latest Friday. What we will do next week is that now on next week, you guys are going to use the extraction sheet and you're going to take the two, we are going to work with maximum 2 papers and you're going to practice extraction from those 2 papers to really extract what is important. Now, if you do this and you think that you have time and you have more time, go ahead and start extracting from the papers you've included. Work in the teams that you guys are already working in. I know you guys have a WhatsApp group, so team up and do these things together, and it's easy. And then you can do that. Now, this gives you a reflection on how you are going to screen for your own topic. But already working with this topic and with these guys, I think it's going to give you an idea of how to apply it on your own topic. So that's it. Um, that said, I think we've come to the end of our session. Brian, you can stop sharing. So I'm going to share the video with you guys. I'm not going to give you guys the results yet until I see all of your results. I mean, for the papers are included, and then we'll proceed with extraction. But again, like I said, there are 4 papers to be included. There are 3 to be maybe. Those maybes you decide in the full text screen if you're going to include it or not. But that's it. Any questions?
No, doctor, it's okay.
Good. So on your sheet, you need to rename your sheet with your name. So Afai screening sheet, put the date when you're sending it, just like the way we do. I mean, I already showed you guys how to document, so I don't need to be repeating myself always, but it's very important. And an email should have a subject and a body and then an attachment, not just boom, as if somebody is chasing you when you're sending the email. So that's it. I think we can take our selfie and you guys can go and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. But was this session helpful? Do you guys see where we are going to? Do you see why it's important to have a clear question, to have a clear PICO, because that's what is going to guide your selection of studies?
Yes, doctor.
All right, guys. So turn on your cameras and let's close. Yeah, I'm also yawning, brother. It's not easy. You guys have driven the only female in the house. You guys are not kind.